Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Bob DiMaria with another episode of Ask Dr. Bob in Westlake, Ohio. Looking forward to answering some of these very interesting questions. Are you ready? Ask Dr. Bob. Ever since my daughter finished chemo and radiation in January, when she had a bowel movement, since then, the toilet paper is clean, and wanted to know what my thoughts were on that. So that's the very first time I ever had a question like that. I really can't give you an answer, but I do know that in nature, from my understanding, when animals tend to have bowel movements, they really don't need toilet paper. So I'll leave it with that. I must punt on this one. I can't give you an answer. Dr. Bob, I need your advice. What are the best vitamins for teenagers? So it's not so much vitamins, but things that I would avoid, and I'm going to talk to you about this. They need calcium. A great source of calcium are plants, not dairy. It's a trick question. When was the last time you saw a cow eating cottage cheese, milk, or ice cream? They don't. They eat hay, grass, and alfalfa. Now, I'm not telling you to eat hay, grass, and alfalfa, but yes, your growing teens need calcium. So however you can get them, motivate them, maybe it can help you cook in the kitchen, but they need green food. I would definitely minimize dairy products, because for them it could definitely result in acne, because dairy really causes that lymphatic system to be sluggish. I would suggest red, yellow, orange bell peppers for a source of vitamin C. I would back off of wheat, because wheat itself will deplete the body of zinc. They need to drink water, and I would focus mostly on non-starchy green vegetables and organic animal protein. If they want to be a plant eater only, we have a pea and a pumpkin protein in the office. Red quinoa and kale are also great sources of protein. Great question. Dr. Bob, what diet do you recommend for pancreatitis? Now, this was interesting about pancreatitis. This is inflamed pancreas. So in my career, I've seen several patients that have had pancreas cancer. Almost every one of them consumed French fries and ice cream, and I had one that was focused on Doritos. Anything that would place a demand on the pancreas, which is usually any kind of sweet, any processed food. See, your pancreas makes enzymes. So if you happen to be an individual that eats a lot of processed foods, it'll place a demand on the pancreas. I would think cucumbers are really good because they're electrolytes. We actually use a product in our practice called Cytozyme-PAN, which is a neonatal glandular pancreas to help support pancreas function. Great question. Dr. Bob, how do I know if I'm depressed? Well, we talk about that in Dr. Bob's Drugless Guide to Mental Health, but I want to just tell you, people who are depressed are usually excessively worried. They're very apprehensive. They're moody. They're suspicious. They don't have any sense of hope. They usually walk head down, and they have a tight lip. Now, people who have anxiety are very anxious, and they're moving usually very quickly. They usually have heart palpitations. Very good questions today. Some of the information we've never had before, and I know that a lot of people are stressed. I'll just throw this out to you. We actually use a product in our practice called L-Lysyme Forte. It's a plant-based lithium. Lithium is a trace mineral. This trace mineral becomes acetylcholine in your brain, which would help calm your brain down. L-Lysyme Forte, you could literally take an hour until you feel calmness in your body. It's not a drug, it's a trace mineral. Great information. I'm Dr. Bob DiMaria.